everyone, today I'll be reviewing Pixar Lightyear and it is starring Chris Evans, Taika Waititi, Kiki Palmer, and this movie is directed by Angus MacLean. So this movie came out a couple of months ago. This movie cost to make $200 million. But this movie was really huge flop at the box office. Like first Pixar movie to flop huge at the box office. It was a huge headline back then. Although many people I talked to, they said also this movie wasn't good. So I wasn't in a biggest rush to see this movie. But finally I saw this movie today. And what do I think about this movie? This movie is actually all this criticism people are saying about this movie. Because this movie has a lesbian and all this thing. That's why this movie are failed at the box office. All those things are not true. Because this movie, the reason this movie failed at the box office, not because any of these old things people are saying. Not because of that. This movie failed because this movie is so boring. The plot line is so boring, and you feel when you watch it, you're like, I have seen this before. Like in other movie, you have seen it before, and other movie has done good on all these topics, and you are like, what I'm doing here? And this movie has all this funny cast, like Kiki Palmer, she's really funny. Like if you have seen her in her other movie, she's like funny actress, she's really funny. And this movie also has Taika Waititi, and you have seen Taika Waititi in anything, he's funny on screen, but unfortunately all the cast in this movie, they're not funny at all. And especially Taika Waititi character, when you watch him, because they did heavily advertise him, you were expecting him to be in this movie, and you do want him to say all this funny joke, because that's how he was in all the trailer. But when you sit down and watch him, you see all the material he was given to him. Like his dialogue were not funny. Like he wasn't not funny at all. And that's the biggest problem with this movie, is the way this movie was advertised. And it is a Pixar movie. You do expect at least some joke, like the funny joke in this movie, to get some laugh. Unfortunately, the story was very repetitive and very boring. Although you are expecting this space adventure, Pixar movie, unfortunately this movie doesn't deliver on any of this thing it promises in its trailer. Evans as a Buzz Lightyear, I don't know, I didn't like him that much. Like the way his character was written, he's really very boring. Like it's like one-dimensional character. Nothing was going on with him. Like you never feel anything for him. That you don't care if he's succeeding, like if he's success in this mission or he failed at his mission. Who cares? And this movie tried to make this huge friendship between, Buzz Lightyear and Hawthorne, who is this lesbian character in this movie. Obviously, they wrote this movie to be woke. You can see it. This movie, like he has no huge friendship with her. That like every time he goes back and sees her, like her life is progressing. None of this time, this Hawthorne character never invite him even once to his room. I will introduce you to my girlfriend or my kid, like whatever. She never does anything with him, and I don't get it. Why we care about his friendship with her is really pointless when you watch it. I'm like, you're just across from her room. She cannot invite you if you think she's your good friend. Like. It's really like the lifeless, this movie, when you watch it, and like this movie tried to be woke. I guess it doesn't work, but at the same time the movie is really, the story is not that good either. Like especially you don't feel anything for his mission. That is the biggest problem with this movie, is like, because he's trying to get all these people to their home, and here they were, all of them are settled down here, having a good life, they're living their life to the fullest. The only person I was feeling in this movie is not living his life is Chris Evans' character. Nobody told him to go fix our problem. He's just going his own. I guess he's trying to fix his problem. His character is so different from the Buzz Lightyear character we know. Because at the end of the day, although Buzz Lightyear is actually one of my favorite characters, played by Tim Allen, I think he does really, like in the four. I'm actually a huge fan of all the Toy Story movie. Like they are my favorite. I know some people don't like the fourth Toy Story movie, but I actually really like even the fourth one. Every time I watch Toy Story movie, they have some such a special place in my heart. I always like all of this character. And again, when I was watching this movie, I felt really sad because this is supposed to be a sequel to Buzz Lightyear character I like so much, and this character is so bland and boring. Because Buzz Lightyear is actually very exciting in the first Toy Story movie. If you like, he is this space ranger. He's trying to do everything. Sometimes he's really pretentious, but you really like him. He's a very lovable character in the first Toy Story movie. Unfortunately, in this movie, he's so boring and like he's what it is. He's not even pretentious or nothing. He's just trying to do his I don't get it. And I found this movie to be boring. It's that means this movie, some people will not like it. I think some people will enjoy this movie. I don't think kids will like, however, this movie. This movie is really, it's really hard to follow the plot line. After a while, it become really boring and very repetitive. That is the problem. And the villain, the Zorg, what was his name? He's really very, they showed him a third part of this movie, and I was like, whoa, you just introduced your villain now? That's how this movie was. Probably because this movie was directed by this screenwriter, and this is his first time directing. I think he did fail at his task. It wasn't very well directed movie, obviously. The biggest problem is the plot, I suppose. But overall, it is for me, who love all the Toy Story movie, I think it's below average for me. I get it if some people like this, but I didn't like it. And that's my thought on this movie. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this movie? If you enjoyed this review, don't watch my other review on other movies. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.